All right, we're live on Bear Sheath Farm. Welcome. Let's go ahead. Let me check the fan quick for a second. Sounds pretty loud. Okay, it's a strong enough fan. I just put it on. Low. But anyway, today we are reading Exodus chapters 26 through 30, and I think I'm just going to talk a little bit after that. I could play a couple videos, but I don't see any big point in it. Anyway. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? All right, Exodus chapter 26. Moreover, thou shalt make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twined linen and blue and purple and scarlet. With cherubims of cunning work shalt thou make them. The length of one curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and every one of the curtains shall have one measure. The 5 curtains shall be coupled together one to another, and other 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another. And thou shalt make loops of blue upon the edge of the one curtain from the selvage and the coupling, and likewise shalt thou make in the uttermost edge of another curtain in the coupling of the second. 50 loops shalt thou make in the one curtain, and 50 loops shalt thou make in the edge of the curtain that is in the coupling of the second, and the loops may take hold one of another. And thou shalt make 50 taches of gold, and couple the curtains together with the taches, and it shall be one tabernacle. All right. Before I go on to verse 7, welcome and shalom to Wilfred Witzke and Tex Haas. All right, verse 7. And thou shalt make curtains of goat's hair to be a covering upon the tabernacle. 11 curtains shalt thou make. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits, and the 11 curtains shall be of one measure. And thou shalt couple 5 curtains by themselves, and 6 curtains by themselves, and shalt double the 6th curtain in the forefront of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make 50 loops on the edge of the one curtain that is outmost in the coupling, and 50 loops in the edge of the curtain which coupleth the second. And thou shalt make 50 taches of brass, and put the taches into the loops, and couple the tent together, that it may be one. And the remnant that remaineth of the curtains of the tent, the half curtain that remaineth, shall hang over the side of the tabernacle. And a cubit on the one side, and a cubit on the other side of that which remaineth in the length of the curtains of the tent. It shall hang over the sides of the tabernacle on this side and on that side to cover it. And thou shalt make the covering for the tent of ram skins dyed red, and a covering above of badger skins. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle of shittim wood, standing up. 10 cubits shall be the length of a board, and a cubit and a half shall be the breadth of one board. 2 tenons shall there be in one board, set in order one against another. Thus shalt thou make for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make the boards for the tabernacle, 20 boards on the south side southward. And thou shalt make 40 sockets of silver under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under one board for his 2 tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for his 2 tenons. And for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, there shall be 20 boards. And there are 40 sockets of silver, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And for the sides of the tabernacle westward, thou shalt make 6 boards, and 2 boards shalt thou make for the corners of the tabernacle and the 2 sides. And they shall be coupled together beneath, and they shall be coupled together above the head of it unto one ring. Thus shall it be for them both. They shall be for the 2 corners. And they shall be 8 boards, and their sockets of silver, 16 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. And thou shalt make bars of shittim wood, 5 for the boards on the one side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 bars for the boards of the side of the tabernacle for the 2 sides westward. And the middle bar in the midst of the board shall reach from end to end. And thou shalt overlay the boards with gold, and make their rings of gold for places for the bars. And thou shalt overlay the bars with gold, and thou shalt rear up the tabernacle according to the fashion thereof, which was showed thee in the mount. And thou shalt make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen of cunning work, with cherubims shall it be made. And thou shalt hang it upon 4 pillars of shittim wood overlaid with gold. Their hooks shall be of gold upon the 4 sockets of silver. And thou shalt hang up the veil under the taches, that thou mayest bring it thither within the veil of the ark of the testimony. And the veil shall divide unto you between the holy place and the most holy. And thou shalt put the mercy seat upon the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. And thou shalt set the and thou shalt set the table without the veil, and the candlestick over against the table on the side of the tabernacle toward the south. And thou shalt put the table on the north side. And thou shalt make an hanging for the door of the tent of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen wrought with needlework. And thou shalt make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold, and their hooks shall be of gold. And thou shalt cast 5 sockets of brass for them. And that's all 37 verses of Exodus chapter 26. Let me look at the chat. Oh boy. Old Path, welcome and shalom to you, buddy. We haven't given you a call yet. Okay. All right. Evidently, too, Wilfred Witzke is here. I think you're the one who gave me the source to on BitChute. I want to talk about that a little bit after the reading, of course. So, let's keep this moving. Let's do Exodus chapter 27. And thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be 4 square, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass. And thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. And the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. And thou shalt make for it a grated network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof. And thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. And thou shalt make stays for the altar, stays of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the stays shall be put into the rings, and the stays shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with boards shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. And thou shalt make the court of the tabernacle for the south side, southward. There shall be hangings for the court of fine twined linen of 100 cubits long for one side, and the 20 pillars thereof, and their 20 sockets shall be of brass. The hooks of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silver. And likewise for the north side in length, there shall be hangings of 100 cubits long, and his 20 pillars and their 20 sockets of brass, the hooks of the pillars and their fillets of silver. And for the breadth of the court on the west side shall be hangings of 50 cubits, their pillars 10 and their sockets 10, and the breadth of the court on the east side eastward shall be 50 cubits. The hangings of one side of the gate shall be 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. And on the other side shall be hangings 15 cubits, their pillars 3 and their sockets 3. And for the gate of the court shall be an hanging of 20 cubits of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen wrought with needlework, and their pillars shall be 4 with their sockets 4. And all the pillars round about the court shall be filleted with silver. Their hooks shall be silver, and their sockets of brass. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50 everywhere, and the height 5 cubits of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the vessels of the tabernacle in all the service thereof, and all the pins thereof, and all the pins of the court shall be of brass. And thou shalt command the children of Israel that they bring the pure olive oil beaten for the lamp, for the light, to cause the lamp to burn always. In the tabernacle of the congregation without the veil, which is before the testimony, Aaron and his sons shall order it from evening to morning before the Lord. It shall be a statute forever unto their generations on the behalf of the children of Israel. It's all 21 verses of Exodus chapter 22. Let me look. Yeah, okay. Well, hopefully you're healing up there, Old Path. Okay. All right. Let's do Exodus chapter 28. That'll be 43 verses. And take thou unto thee Aaron thy brother and his sons with him from among the children of Israel, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office, even Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. Before I continue on, I think a lot of you know that Aaron and Nadab, when we get to Leviticus, chapter 10, if I remember correctly, they're going to get burnt out of existence. As we read this stuff, it's done in detail. We have a precise, detailed God here, doing things right on notch. And just so you know, and they knew better than to put strange fire, which you can compare to strange fire with how many different Christian religions, right? So anyway, let's continue on. Verse 2. And thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt speak unto all that are wise-hearted, whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And these are the garments which they shall make: a breastplate and an ephod, and a robe and a broidered coat, a mitre and a girdle. And they shall make holy garments for Aaron thy brother and his sons, that he may minister unto me in the priest's office. And they shall take gold and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen, and they shall make the ephod of gold, of blue, and a purple, of scarlet, and fine twined linen with cunning work. It shall have the two shoulder pieces thereof joined at the two edges thereof, and so it shall be joined together. And the curious girdle of the ephod which is upon it shall be of the same, according to the work thereof, even of gold, of blue and purple and scarlet and fine twined linen. And thou shalt take 2 onyx stones, and grave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 of their names on one stone, and the other 6 names of the rest on the other stone, according to their birth. With the work of an engraver in stone, like the engravings of a signet, shalt thou engrave the 2 stones. With the names of the children of Israel, thou shalt make them to be set in wishes of gold. I know it looks like ouches, but anyway. Verse 12. And thou shalt put the 2 stones upon the shoulders of the ephod for stones of memorial unto the children of Israel, and Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord upon his 2 shoulders for a memorial. And thou shalt make wishes of gold, and 2 chains of pure gold at the ends of wreathen work shalt thou make them, and fasten the wreathen chains to the wishes. And thou shalt make the breastplate of judgment with cunning work, after the work of the ephod. Thou shalt make it of gold, of blue, and a purple, and a scarlet, and a fine twined linen. Shalt thou make it 4 square. 4 square it shall be. 4 square it shall be, being doubled. A span shall be the length thereof, and a span be the breadth thereof. And thou shalt set it in settings of stone, even 4 rows of stones. The first row shall be a sardius, and topaz, and a carbuncle. This shall be the first row. And the second row shall be an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. And the third row, a liger and agate, and an amethyst. In the fourth row, a beryl, and an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their enclosings. And the stones shall be with the names of the children of Israel, 12, according to their names, like the engravings of a signet, every one with his name, shall they be according to the 12 tribes. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate chains at the ends of wreathen work of pure gold. And thou shalt make upon the breastplate 2 rings of gold, and shalt put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. And thou shalt put the 2 wreathen chains of gold in the 2 rings which are on the ends of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 wreathen chains thou shalt fasten in the 2 leashes, and put them on the shoulder pieces of the ephod before it. And thou shalt make 2 rings of gold, and thou shalt put them upon the 2 ends of the breastplate in the border thereof, which is in the side of the ephod inward. And the other rings of gold thou shalt make, and shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod underneath, toward the forepart thereof, over against the other coupling thereof, above the curious girdle of the ephod. And they shall bind the breastplate by the rings thereof unto the rings of the ephod with a lace of blue, that it may be above the curious girdle of the ephod, and that the breastplate be not loosed from the ephod. And Aaron shall bear the names of the children of Israel in the breastplate of judgment upon his heart when he goeth in unto the holy place for a memorial before the Lord continually. And thou shalt put in the breastplate of judgment the Urim and the Thummim, and they shall be upon Aaron's heart when he goeth in before the Lord. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel upon his heart before the Lord continually. And thou shalt make the robe of the ephod all of blue, and there shall be an hole in the top of it, in the midst thereof. It shall have a binding of woven work round about the whole of it, as it were the whole of an habergeon, that it be not rent. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue, and of purple, and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about. A golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and a sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, and grave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord. And thou shalt put it on a blue lace, that it may be upon the mitre, upon the forefront of the mitre it shall be. And it shall be upon Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the holy things which the children of Israel shall hallow in all their holy gifts. And it shall be always upon his forehead, that they may be accepted before the Lord. And thou shalt embroider the coat of fine linen, and thou shalt make the mitre of fine linen, and thou shalt make the girdle of needlework. And for Aaron's sons thou shalt make coats, and thou shalt make for them girdles, and bonnets shalt thou make for them for glory and for beauty. And thou shalt put them upon Aaron thy brother, and his sons with him, and shalt anoint them, and consecrate them, and sanctify them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt make them linen breeches to cover their nakedness, from the loins even unto the thighs they shall reach. And they shall be upon Aaron and upon his sons when they come in unto the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they come near unto the altar to minister in the holy place, that they bear not iniquity and die. It shall be a statute forever unto him, and a seed after him. And that's all 43 verses of chapter 28 of Exodus. Let me look here at the Thanks Biblical Animal Farm. Welcome and shalom to Command Gas. I don't recognize you. If you haven't subbed, please do so. And thanks for coming. See what Haas has had to say. Wilfred Witzke. Kangas. Yeah, I just say Kim Kangas, right? I want to make sure I get it right. Okay, you guys are just kind of talking back and forth, giving greetings. I'm cool. Yeah. I want Wilfred. I think it was Wilfred that gave me the source to the series that I'm watching on BitChute right now. If you can stick around, I want to talk about that a little bit. All right, Kim. All right, sounds good. Kim. Something's going through my mind. Anyway, we have 2 more chapters to do. Another long chapter here as far as for the Bible. 46 verses on the next one. And on 30, we have 38 verses. So, anyway. Let's keep this moving, shall we? All right, chapter 29. And this is the thing, that thou shalt do unto them to hallow them, to minister unto me in the priest's office. Take 1 young bullock, and 2 rams without blemish, and unleavened bread, and cakes unleavened, tempered with oil, and wafers unleavened, anointed with oil. Of wheat and flour shalt thou make them. And thou shalt put them into 1 basket, and bring them in the basket with the bullock and the 2 rams. And Aaron and his sons thou shalt bring unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and shalt wash them with water. And thou shalt take the garments, and put upon Aaron the coat, and the robe of the ephod, and the breastplate, and gird him with the curious girdle of the ephod. And thou shalt put the mitre upon his head, and put the holy crown upon the mitre. Then shalt thou take the anointing oil, and pour it upon his head, and anoint him. And thou shalt bring his sons, and put coats upon them, and thou shalt gird them with girdles, Aaron and his sons, and put the bonnets on them, and the priest's office shall be theirs for a perpetual statute, and thou shalt consecrate Aaron and his sons. And thou shalt cause a bullock to be brought before the tabernacle of the congregation, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the bullock. And thou shalt kill the bullock before the Lord by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And thou shalt take of the blood of the bullock, and put it upon the horns of the altar with thy finger, and pour all the blood beside the bottom of the altar. And thou shalt take all the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul that is above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and burn them upon the altar. But the flesh of the bullock, and his skin, and his dung, shalt thou burn with fire without the camp. It is a sin offering. Thou shalt also take 1 ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram, and thou shalt slay the ram, and thou shalt take his blood, and sprinkle it round about upon the altar. And thou shalt cut the ram in pieces, and wash the inwards of him and his legs, and put them unto his pieces, and unto his head. And thou shalt burn the whole ram upon the altar. It is a burnt offering unto the Lord. It is a sweet savour, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the other ram, and Aaron and his sons shall put their hands upon the head of the ram. Then shalt thou kill the ram, and take of his blood, and put it upon the tip of the right ear of Aaron, and upon the tip of the right ear of his sons, and upon the thumb of their right hand, and upon the great toe of their right foot, and sprinkle the blood upon the altar round about. And thou shalt take of the blood that is upon the altar, and of the anointing oil, and sprinkle it upon Aaron, and upon his garments, and upon his sons, and upon the garments of his sons with him, and he shall be hallowed, and his garments and his sons' garments with him. And thou shalt take of the ram the fat and the rump, and the fat that covereth the inwards, and the caul above the liver, and the 2 kidneys, and the fat that is upon them, and the right shoulder, for it is a ram of consecration. Oh, cool. I appreciate that, Kim Kangas. Yeah, cool. Verse 23, and 1 loaf of bread, and 1 cake of oil bread, and 1 wafer out of the basket of the unleavened bread that is before the Lord. Okay, I'm 23 of the verses of the way through 46 verses here on this chapter. Let me check.
Welcome, Kim Kangas.
Yeah, Kim Kangas. Yeah, welcome. Let me take a drink of coffee here. And a drink of tea. Oh, and welcome and shalom to one of my longtime subbers, Carolyn Ganna. Yeah, I said that earlier. I don't know if you were here yet. We have a very precise, detailed God. And I'm glad for that. A lot of greasy gracers, and I'm really not trying to put them down. I think some of them do really mean well, but this slack attitude, it's really not good. Are we perfect yet? Are we whole? No, and we have problems here. But that being said, folks, we serve a precise, detailed God who's whole, who's complete, who's sinless, who it's impossible for to lie. Yeah. And we ought to be grateful for that. And we are supposed to be like him and be in his manner, be in his image, as a matter of fact. So I just wanted to make that clear. I tried to take time to look at the side chat too. Okay, Kim, sounds good. You find it. Bear Sheath Farm. Levite, Levite, and then space and put Cahn. You'll find it that way too. Cahn. That's my YouTube name. So anyway, let's go to verse 24. And thou shalt put all in the hands of Aaron and in the hands of his sons, and shalt wave them for a wave offering before the Lord. And thou shalt receive them of their hands and burn them upon the altar for a burnt offering, for a sweet savor before the Lord. It is an offering made by fire unto the Lord. And thou shalt take the breast of the ram of Aaron's consecration and wave it for a wave offering before the Lord, and it shall be thy part. And thou shalt sanctify the breast of the wave offering and the shoulder of the heave offering, which is waved and which is heaved up, of the ram of the consecration, even of that which is for Aaron, and of that which is for his sons. And it shall be Aaron's and his sons by statute forever from the children of Israel, for it is an heave offering, and it shall be an heave offering from the children of Israel of the sacrifice of their peace offerings, even their heave offering unto the Lord. And the holy garments of Aaron shall be his sons after him, to be anointed therein, and to be consecrated in them. And that son that is priest in his stead shall put them on 7 days, when he cometh into the tabernacle of the congregation to minister in the holy place. And thou shalt take the ram of the consecration, and seethe his flesh in the holy place. And Aaron and his sons shall eat the flesh of the ram and the bread that is in the basket by the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And they shall eat those things wherewith the atonement was made, to consecrate and to sanctify them. But a stranger shall not eat thereof, because they are holy. And if aught of the flesh of the consecrations or of the bread remain unto the morning, then thou shalt burn the remainder with fire. It shall not be eaten, because it is holy. And thus shalt thou do unto Aaron and to his sons, according to all things which I have commanded thee. 7 days shalt thou consecrate them. And thou shalt offer every day a bullock for a sin offering and atonement, and thou shalt cleanse on the altar when thou hast made an atonement for it. And thou shalt anoint it to sanctify it 7 days. 7 days thou shalt make an atonement for the altar and sanctify it, and it shall be an altar most holy. Whatsoever toucheth the altar shall be holy. Now this is that which thou shalt offer upon the altar, 2 lambs of the first year, day by day, continually. The one lamb thou shalt offer in the morning, and the other lamb thou shalt offer at even. And with the one lamb 1/10 deal of flour mingled with the 4th part of an hin of beaten oil, and the 4th part of an hin of wine for a drink offering. And the other lamb thou shalt offer at even, and shalt do thereto according to the meat offering of the morning, and according to the drink offering thereof, for a sweet savor, an offering made by fire unto the Lord. This shall be a continual burnt offering throughout your generations at the door of the tabernacle of the congregation before the Lord, where I will meet you to speak there unto thee. And there I will meet with the children of Israel, and the tabernacle shall be sanctified by my glory. And I will sanctify the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar. I will sanctify also both Aaron and his sons to minister to me in the priest's office. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God. And they shall know that I am the Lord their God, that brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, that I may dwell among them. I am the Lord their God. All 46 verses of Exodus chapter 29, ladies and gentlemen. A very detailed, precise God, a very accurate, totally accurate, completely accurate, and emphasizing like a broken record, because that's what my ancestors, the Hebrew Israelites, needed it. I need it. I suspect others need it. You can answer that for yourself. Check in the chat again. Let me look at. No, cancel. Oh man, I don't believe I did that. I almost kicked myself off. I would have had to start this whole thing over. I'm glad my laptop gave me a warning if I actually wanted to do that or cancel, so I canceled. Anyway. Anyway, I think we have 38 verses in chapter 30, and then, yeah, we do. So at least for the scriptures anyway, they're kind of longer readings here with these chapters. I'm taking my eyes are with my cataracts here. I'm doing fairly decent with my tongue and missing teeth here. So bear with me. But okay. Let's do Exodus or Shemoth chapter 30. And thou shalt make an altar to burn incense upon. Of shittim wood shalt thou make it. A cubit shall be the length thereof, and a cubit the breadth thereof. 4 squares shall it be. And 2 cubits shall be the height thereof. The horns thereof shall be of the same. And thou shalt overlay it with pure gold, the top thereof, and the sides thereof round about, and the horns thereof. And thou shalt make unto it a crown of gold round about. And 2 golden rings shalt thou make to it under the crown of it, by the 2 corners thereof, upon the sides of it shalt thou make it, and they shall be for places for the staves to bear it withal. And thou shalt make the staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with gold. Before I go on to verse 6, yeah, I'm using Super Giant 18 font size. So, yeah, I am. Anyway, verse 6. And thou shalt put it before the veil that is by the ark of the testimony, before the mercy seat that is over the testimony, where I will meet with thee. And Aaron shall burn thereon sweet incense every morning. When he dresseth the lamps, he shall burn incense upon it. When Aaron lighteth the lamps even, he shall burn incense upon it, a perpetual incense before the Lord throughout your generations. Ye shall offer no strange incense thereon, nor burnt sacrifice, nor meat offering, neither shall ye pour drink offering thereon. And Aaron shall make an atonement upon the horns of it once in a year with the blood of the sin offering of atonements. Once in the year shall he make atonement upon it throughout your generations. It is most holy unto the Lord. Yeah, okay. Welcome again there, Kim, under another account. All right, verse 11. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, When thou takest the sum of the children of Israel after their number, then shall they give every man a ransom for a soul unto the Lord when thou numberest them, that there be no plague among them when thou numberest them. This they shall give, every one that passeth among them that are numbered, half a shekel after the shekel of the sanctuary. A shekel is 20 gerahs, and half shekel shall be an offering of the Lord. Everyone that passeth among them that are numbered from 20 years old and above shall give an offering unto the Lord. The rich shall not give more, and the poor shall not give less than half a shekel when they give an offering unto the Lord to make atonement for your souls. And thou shalt take the atonement money of the children of Israel, and shalt appoint it for the service of the tabernacle of the congregation, that it may be a memorial unto the children of Israel before the Lord, to make an atonement for your souls. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Thou shalt also make a laver, or some people say laver, of brass, and his foot also of brass to wash withal. And thou shalt put it between the tabernacle of the congregation and the altar, and thou shalt put water therein. For Aaron and his sons shall wash their hands and their feet thereat. When they go into the tabernacle of the congregation, they shall wash with water, that they die not. Or when they come near to the altar to minister, to burn offering made by fire unto the Lord. So they shall wash their hands and their feet, that they die not. And it shall be a statute forever to them, even to him, and to his seed throughout their generations. Moreover, the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Take thou also unto thee principal spices of pure myrrh, 500 shekels, and of sweet cinnamon, half so much, even 250 shekels, and of sweet calamus, 250 shekels, and of cassia 500 shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, and of olive oil and hin. And thou shalt make it an oil of holy ointment, an ointment compound after the art of the apothecary. It shall be an holy anointing oil. And thou shalt anoint the tabernacle of the congregation therewith, and the ark of the testimony, and the table, and all his vessels, and the candlestick, and its vessels, and the altar of incense, and the altar of burnt offering, with all his vessels, and the laver and his foot. And thou shalt sanctify them, that they may be most holy. Whatsoever toucheth them shall be holy. And thou shalt anoint Aaron and his sons, and consecrate them, that they may minister unto me in the priest's office. And thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel, saying, This shall be an holy anointing oil unto me throughout your generations. Upon man's flesh shall it not be poured, neither shall ye make any other like it after the composition of it. It is holy, and it shall be holy unto you. Whosoever compoundeth any like it, or whosoever putteth any of it upon a stranger, shall even be cut off from his people. And the Lord said unto Moses, Take unto thee sweet spices, stacte, and onycha, and galbanum, these sweet spices with pure frankincense, of each shall there be a like weight. And thou shalt make it a perfume, a confection, after the art of the apothecary, tempered together, pure and holy. And thou shalt beat some of it very small, and put of it before the testimony in the tabernacle of the congregation, where I will meet with thee. It shall be unto you most holy. And as for the perfume which thou shalt make, ye shall not make to yourselves according to the composition thereof. It shall be unto thee holy for the Lord. Whosoever shall make like unto that to smell thereto shall even be cut off from among his people. And that's all reading, 38 verses of chapter 35. Exodus chapter 30, and that's the readings of Exodus chapters 26 through 30 today. Yeah, we got some El Nino going on, and we have gamma rays going on too there, Kim, or freedom and victory, whatever you want me to call you. A lot of things going on. I try to give information on that. Folks, give me a few seconds. I'm going to peek out to make sure my big dogs are good. Hopefully no action's going on. Otherwise, you'll see me running in here and grabbing my tool to go back out. Because out in the middle of the woods, coyotes can show up. Don't get me wrong, they're big, strong dogs, but I wouldn't want them on their own with a whole pack. Be right back. All right. They seem to be they're pretty content out there. It's not raining right now, and it's cooler out there even than it is in here with our fan on. What you guys all hashing about here? Let me look. I'll scan through here. Okay, I like that picture. Coyote, huh? They're hoss. Because of what I said. Let's see. More powerful fan. Chemtrails, yeah. We have a new person in here, Kim Kangle / Freed and Victory. She's the same person, evidently. But I know Carolyn Gannon typed in once. She's been a long time sober. Haas and Wilfred have been here for a little while now, but they're a lot newer than Carolyn Gannon for me. I appreciate when I get new people. I appreciate the long-term subbers too. What's your name? Carolyn Gannon was with me before the days. Oh boy, those were the days. With that being said, as you know, Lindsey Graham died. Isn't Henry McMaster the governor of South Carolina? If I'm right off the top of my head, let me think. Let me Google that up. I think Henry. I think it's Henry McMaster or something. Governor. Okay, let's see. Henry Dargan McMaster. Yeah. Now, what happens with that before election time? Like, see, when Dianne Feinstein died, 2-3 years back. Yeah, Newsom. He had to appoint somebody, and that's what governors do. They're kind of like a president, in not the same way exactly, obviously, as say Trump and them, but they're like little presidents. They're like presidents over a tiny little country. You could compare a governor to his or her state, and what happens is if somebody dies or resigns or whatever. In this case, he passed on. He's deceased. Henry McMaster is going to appoint his daughter. He was never married, but obviously had an affair or whatever happened. But Henry Dargan McMaster is going to appoint his daughter, Lindsey Graham's daughter, to replace him. Now, whether she'll run or not to try and win, I don't know. I've never liked Lindsey Graham. He's a rhino and a neocon, a warmonger, are very nice things to say about him. I'm not shedding any tears. I'm not going to lie. Now, do I feel bad for close family or friends? He doesn't have much family. I mean, his daughter's one of them, but if that's the only one, I don't know. I'd have to check it out. The point is, I mean, he's probably got close friends, and even psychopaths can have friends, I suppose. But anyway, that being said, and they want to get that SAVE Act passed. I don't really care one way or the other. I don't know how many crappy bills in between that I don't even know about that they may be putting in with it. That's always been an issue ever since I can remember, when I kept track of politics in my teens, back 150 years ago. So, okay, so it's a bad sarcastic joke. Let's say 40 years ago to be a little more realistic, but you get my point. So, anyway, I don't know how good of a job she'll do or not. Trump has changed. He's not what he once was. Not that he was ever this godly, wonderful man. I don't think he was, but he's a lot different day and night compared to what he was during Trump 1.0. That's just what I'm seeing. Don't you think the father already has dealt with that? I think it's instantaneous. Yeah, no, I figured you knew. I get what you're saying, but Wilfred, I believe you're the one who gave me the link, and I've been watching that. Well, we will. I believe we will, Kim. But I'll get back to you, Kim, in a minute.
You're funny.
What, me? I don't know why you think I'm funny. Wilfred, I've been watching this, and Europa, the last battle. I'm going to start parts 5 and 6 here on BitChute. Now, a lot of it I already knew, so I know a lot of it is realistic. What I'm having a hard time with, Witsky, is they're really making, at least so far anyway, it's like they're trying to make Hitler look like a saint, and I know he wasn't. Maybe he did. Maybe in the camps. I know Hitler never went to one. He never verb action. He never participated in any of that. He gave the orders. He's the most guilty when you think about it. He was the leader, but maybe he didn't do 6 million. Maybe it was just a couple million Jews. But however many people, Poland's and Russians and Americans were in there, just some of the German people who went against him were in there. I mean, I think some of the stuff I already knew about Winston Churchill, even though I think he was a brilliant man. I do. And I think the Lord has dealt with him too. But he was probably the most brilliant leader for the Allies in that part. Probably the most brilliant prime minister, IQ-wise, and that Britain's ever had, more than likely, which makes him more responsible. But that being said, I'm having a hard time accepting, maybe Hitler did plead for peace that much. I don't know. But the way he dealt with it, with people in the death camps, work camps, call them what you will, I just don't think Hitler's that innocent. I don't. Is it you, Wilfred, that gave that to me last night in the chat? And if it is, whoever it was, you were. I don't think it was Haas, but whoever did, I think it was Wilfred. If you could give me any, yeah, okay. If you could give me titles of books that I can look for, I told you I'm a researcher, okay, and I would stop it in the middle. Not only did I look in that, well, a lot of the names I already know, okay. That being said, not only do I know, but some of the information was new to me. Sometimes I would type up, okay, this is what Stalin said, this is what Benjamin Netanyahu said in 2002. And of course, Google is going to deny it, and they did. Fabricated, it's a hoax. Scholars and researchers have agreed this is, wrong. It's just made up stuff. Deborah Heberfaith and I were talking about that earlier tonight, folks, for that matter. We, it's hard to find some of this information now. Even stuff that I read 50 years ago when I was a little kid to 40 to 30 years ago, they're really, it's hard to find a lot of the books. It's hard to find a lot of the articles. They're covering them up. In some cases, they've deleted them. And how I would do it, obviously, if you gave me the titles of books and the authors' names, I'd look them up, see if I can get them on Amazon or eBay. And what I'd do is go to flea markets. Any of you people been to flea markets? Yeah, I know. That part I kind of knew already. Or I did know it. You go to flea markets, you can get a lot of things. And what I would do is there's a couple of flea markets that are fairly close to me, within 30 miles. And you go there, and people have their little bookstores, I would give them the title and the author and help them look for some of those older books or stuff we could get. Yeah, exactly, Kim. That's exactly what we need to do. Because this, I'm afraid to talk about. Not that I'm afraid. That's not the right way to say it. Not much scares me. I'm nervous. I'm very reluctant to talk about things just off of a documentary. Now, obviously, I'm not going to chance. You know how I do videos and I play clips of things. I'm not doing that from Rumble and BitChute, that's for sure. Um, yeah, I know, but what's her name said she would on a Sunday maybe go with us, take us there. My wife. Um, so I'm not going to play clips. People have done it and gotten away with it. But why play little clips for that matter? I might as well use Rumble or BitChute or FX Connection, you know. But you go and you find these older books and older magazines and stuff like that. And look, I stick my neck out there. You people know this. If I find an old book from a credible author, I'll put it right up here in front of my screen and say, okay, page such and such and chapter such and such, paragraph number, whatever. And that I'll do things like that. I have no qualms with that. So see, the reason why too is I know the way they cover things up. I should look on Google, see if this will show up again. Let me explain. I used to work in the medical field, okay, and we used to talk around the desk when I was a nursing assistant and with the other licensed practical nurses, which are LPNs, and the registered nurses, which are RNs. And it was just common knowledge to me because I went through a real college for it too, by the way. I knew 5 times what a nursing assistant or a home health aide knew that only went through a nursing home program. I mean, that RN instructor was awesome. Yeah, we took the same standard tests and stuff and that, but just the knowledge and all that, it came out very quickly when I had to work beside a man or a woman, usually women, on the floor. Now, and I'm not cutting them down. They got their training, minimal training from a nursing facility or a nursing home. My point to you, approve. But we used to, okay, it's changed it again. I'll read it in a minute after my explanation. I used to, no, I don't think I have. I don't think I have. Have you all watched my lives? I just got back to seeing you guys again because I was on Google. But that being said, folks, it was common for us, like with the FDA, Food and Drug Administration. It takes 10 to 15 years for a drug to be approved just through them. And they're not the only ones to go through. They're just one of a few powerful entities, a few powerful organizations. But, well, in 2020, when they were doing that scamdemic with, of course, Dr. Tony Anthony Fauci, and you look at his history, I'll take a beagle dog over him any day of the week if you want to check out what I'm talking about there. But I'm like, wait a minute, these people are given a so-called vaccine and it's not even approved yet within the first few months. And then when they did approve it, it was still less than a year. Yeah. Well, I looked on Google at that in October 2020. I don't remember the exact date, but it was October something of 2020, and it read 12 years for the FDA. Now, later down the road, it didn't give that. It just, had all these articles you could click into for emergency speed warp programs. Well, finally, last year, I think in 2025, I looked at it again, and it still had where you can click into links for emergency programs, but it went back to where 10 to 15 years. Fair enough. Now, as I Google, average amount of time FDA takes to approve a drug, and I will share this. I have no problem. Let's see. Come on, share. Here we are. That way you can see it too. Now, I hate AI, but you got to kind of have it there, I guess. The AI overview. Once a drug manufacturer submits its data, the FDA's actual review process takes 6 to 10 months for standard applications, or about 6 months for priority reviews. Now, that's not saying whether it accepts or rejects, okay? However, the entire research, development, and clinical trial timeline spans are estimated 8.5 to 10 years on average before it reaches that review stage. Okay, standard review about 10 months. Priority review, designed for drugs that provide significant improvements over existing options, taking about 6 months. Fast track, see, here we go again, / breakthrough therapy expedites the development and review process, often shortening the timeline by months for conditions with unmet medical needs. In other words, get ready to be a guinea pig again, for those who are dumb enough to be. To explore current timelines and recent drug approvals, you can check FDA's official drug approvals and databases portal. I'm not going to go into that. I don't want to do that all night. Okay. So, anyway, I'll get rid of that. My point is, I can't just. I'm seeing what these people are saying, and I know a lot of them said it because I did my research starting how many years ago, and that was even back on YouTube before YouTube got real censor, hyper censor. Not sensitive but hyper censored. They've kind of lightened up now. There's certain things I'm saying now that if I said it 5-6 years ago, they put me in YouTube jail 1 to 2 weeks, and I was actually there for a little bit. I was in jeopardy of losing my channel before I took a few years off and didn't YouTube. Now, that being said, if you can give me some sources, give me names of books, the authors, obviously. If you can give me some magazines, I don't care if they're 150 years old. And I'll look for them. And from what I've seen of being at flea markets and stuff, those people who have that kind of stuff, and they may not have all of it, but they know what they have in their bookshelves, that they're trying to sell these books for very cheap. And I can email some other YouTubers and stuff and see what they have that they're willing to give up, or at least send me emails about. I can try to do that. But again, I'm having a hard time accepting that Adolf Hitler is that much of a saint. Maybe they don't. Maybe this documentary doesn't mean to do that. But that's the picture I'm kind of getting, and I do know that in my history, because I've studied history a lot, and just simply put, Hitler did break off from everything. They were treated unfairly during the armistice deal, when Hitler was a corporal in that one army regiment, and after a while, when his mother died and all that, and he was homeless trying to be a painter, getting accepted into that art school and stuff, and getting rejected. I mean, I'm sure it pissed him off to no end. And he hit the right people, and away he went to become a leader. He became a leader, and I'm not doing this. I shouldn't probably do that. Some jackweasel will say that I'm doing the Hitler sign. I'm a Jew, by the way. I'd be stupid to do that. But I'm a Messianic. I'm a Hebrew Israelite. But I just use my hands and arms when I talk. So, with that being said, folks, he went and during the roaring 1920s, 100 years ago, when America was having a good old time, Germany was not. They were paying off debts big time, being ruled by the elites. And they were starting to pay their way out. And then in October 29, with the stock market crash, and Americans, our ancestors had it bad, no doubt about it. Germany had it a lot worse. And they had this pseudo savior that come into play. That's when Hitler really started taking off. He did 9 months in prison and that, in a revolt. I'm sure a lot of you know that. They were very lenient on him for that treasonous act. Eventually Paul Vindenberg or whatever, the president, he didn't really trust him much, but he trusted him enough to make him a chancellor, and Hitler just had to wait out his time. And even before Paul Vindenberg died of old age, him and Hermann Wilhelm Goering were taking control to an extent anyway. But here's the thing. See, I'm telling you that stuff that's normal. That's anybody who just opens up an oral history book can find this no problem. When I get into more detail, Witzke, if I even can, I can't just be going by that. I need real sources. Not saying that that's not a real source, but Witzke, do you know of anything? I mean, if you don't, that's fine. Just type in that you don't, that you're not really sure. There's some rumors about that, Kim, but I think he was more traumatized. He earned an Iron Cross, wasn't it, for he's a pretty brave soldier. And then right before they surrendered, because they could have fought longer. Germany they chose to surrender. A few days as that happened, right before he lost his eyesight in the battle, he got it back. But here he was walking around blind and had his eyes wrapped, and he gets to open his eyes up to Germany being all putzed out. I think that probably, I'm speculating, that probably made him angry too. I know he hated the Zionist Jews. I don't like him either. I don't like my Jewish counterparts. Just saying. But Aranst Zonda. Did I see his name in that documentary? Did he write any book? I'll write him down. I don't know if I've seen his name or not yet. It's not really coming to mind. Did he write any books? Hold on, something just came up. Click that up. Okay. He was in Canada. He was arrested for telling the truth. He was in Canada. Okay, that's fine. But did he write a book? Did he write any articles too? I'll look him up. I think I've heard his name. It's ringing a bell. I'm just not sure how. It's almost 11. I'll look him up. Because a lot of those guys that you're putting up, like I said, I'll type it in word for word what they said. Even Joseph Stalin, about what he said. Google denies that. He was our ally in a way. I mean, yeah, right here. I wrote it down word for word, and then I Googled it up word for word. And Google denies this. America is like a healthy body, and its resistance is threefold. It's again, my tongue and my teeth. It's patriotism, it's morality, and it's spiritual life. If we can undermine these three areas, America will collapse from within. Give me a minute. My wife is signaling me. It does make sense. If Joseph Stalin said that, that's right, and that's with any nation. Yeah. Hold on. Hold on, Deb. Give me a minute, folks. All right. Why don't you come out over here and say hi where they can see you?
No, I don't feel very well right now.
That would be a bad idea.
Like I said, I don't feel very well.
I'd get shut down forever. Yeah. Bad joke.
I don't feel very well right now.
Okay, yeah, I'll look them up on BitChute and on Rumble for that matter. Outside of YouTube, I use YouTube the most. I read a lot of articles on Google and stuff, and I have a few books here. But after Google, the one that I've used the second most would be Rumble. BitChute is, well, it's catching up now. Um, yeah. Don't get me wrong, folks. I'm willing to go with what people say to an extent. They look very sincere. They look um, like they're being honest, like they really believe it. Um, and they may not have any real sources. I can tell you about a tornado I went through, and well, I don't know if that's a very good example. I almost got sucked up off the floor. I was 17. I didn't think I was going to make it to adulthood, and obviously I did. But well, I suppose there is some stuff if you were to look up in that area about 20 miles outside of Hibbing, Minnesota. But it'd be hard to prove. I mean, let me think of a better example. I was physically attacked by demons one night in April something in 1990. Now, either you believe me or you don't. I mean, and I guess with some of these guys, when they say that Benjamin Netanyahu did it or said this or did that, we've been able to prove that he has, and he's evil. It's just that this is a Jew boy telling you that. But still, there's a lot of things he's saying or doing that they will deny. And when you have people backing you up that have some real clout to them, like Dr. Phil, it's even harder to prove. Let me think. Joseph Stalin, if he said that, it's dead on the money. I mean, look what's going on with us. Oh, do we really have to go live on Facebook? I didn't even want to do TikTok, and now I'm getting ready to do a TikTok account. Well, if they ban me, they ban me. I mean, probably should just go FX Connection. They're the best, really. I don't think they're the most used. I think Rumble and BitChute are a lot more well known, but FX Connection, they'll take anything. And if you want to hide somebody's voice and not have it filtered through, FX Connection. If I was to interview somebody secretively that didn't want to be found out, FX Connection is the best way to go, that I know of anyway. I thought we were more like on about 28, Deb, not just 15. That was one of the reasons why I was bigger, a lot bigger than what I ever showed on YouTube. Because you had me on 25 to 30 of them. It's not free either. Well, okay, fine, whatever. They know who I am. They know where we live. You want to come and get me? Okay. I'm sure you'll win in the end for this lifetime. Let's have ourselves a good fight. But, whatever. I'll look up this guy and I'll see what I can find. But I can tell you about my being attacked by demons that night because I left myself open to attack, folks. And another guy backed it up for me 2 days later on the phone. He said he knew the time that I was woke up and being attacked better than I did. So I was half out of it. When I finally rebuked all of them, which I thought was only one at the time, but then when they ran away screaming, it was in stereo, it was more than one. But my point is, and I did it in the name of Jesus Christ. I didn't know any Hebrew at that time. I was still going by my adopted Christian home, my Lutheran stuff a little bit and whatever. It's because that's what I knew back then. Anyway, but I don't have any sources. Either you believe me or you don't. I thought I told you about it, that I was attacked.
No bird.
Well, maybe I didn't tell you. Huh. I'm pretty sure I did, Deb. You're just not remembering.
Nope, I will remember that.
Okay. I've told it to a number of people, just if it comes up.
Alrighty, Dan.
If it comes up as a subject, I guess. Anyway, I'll look this guy up. I'm going to continue to watch the series. I will take down notes whenever I can, and that, and see what can be done here on my part, and if I can find any sources as well. At the end of the day, though, folks,
Levi, Dan Benoni has had experience of being attacked by spirits too.
well, I'm sure he has, but I would need to talk to Dan again, and he'd have to relay it to me, or he could do it on his own channel. I'm not worried about him right now. He's a good guy. I like him. He just Dan Benandi runs a good, pretty good. He runs a very good ministry. So anyway, I don't really know what else to. I suppose I could maybe bring something up just for kicks and giggles. I'm just kind of browsing around now. The big rumor that Lindsey Graham was attacked, that he was assassinated somehow. Who knows? But watch some kind of humorous stuff. And when I say it's humorous, it's not really very funny because that's our leaders, you know. And look. Let's see. Oh, let's look at Creepy Boy Gaff. Okay. Creepy Boy Gaseous Gavin Newscomb. Let's see what he's got. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with the name of Jesus either. As you see, I'll use Yeshua. I'll use Jesus. I'm not a stickler namer. That's ridiculous to me.
Amen.
So see what old Creepy Boy Newscomb has to say, and then I'll put the link underneath the video when I'm done. When I shut down.
I'm just willing to accept those things which I cannot control, as much as they may be frustrating, as much as, yeah, I'm human. I don't like that characterization. I don't like what's on Fox 24/7 in the California derangement or the Gavin Newsom derangement syndrome. Dare I suggest it's not just Trump.
It's just dumb.
Why is it dumb?
These guys are consolidating power. The right is ruthless, and we need to be more ruthless as a party, including with respect to what those critiques are.
That's an interesting pronunciation.
The old phrase, I think it was a George Orwell short story about how he shot an elephant and how he put a mask on, and his face grew into it.
Yeah.
And he became something that he never even understood or expected to become, but he ultimately had to pose.
I ain't opposed to shoot. I got a PhD, opposed to hate a degree.
All the warts and all, if you're looking for perfection, I mean, that's the last damn book you should look for. I try to navigate that throughout the book, and how I had some moments, the hair gel, that's his superpower. Trump and I share some learning differences, dare I say. Anyone else's sets of eyes, and how I was just charging ahead. If you're looking for perseverance, my more of an entrepreneurial mindset, a willingness to take risks, try new things, to iterate.
Raising my hands a lot.
Focusing again on how none of this, I tried this, it didn't work. And in that failure, I became much stronger. That's why you don't see me do this. got enough votes that gave her the nomination, trying to be. We try to be holier than thou and win the argument. I had the privilege of speaking in front of the convention. You don't have to like it. It's okay. I respect that. I'm not trying to be something now I'm not. And you have 1,000 alternatives. You can turn this interview off right now.
That's a really good idea.
Okay. I like Mr. Burgundy, but that was not one of the better ones. Yeah, I know he is. I know he's related to Nancy. I could find something else. I don't know, folks. I'm really not up to it tonight. I need to do my push-ups, sit-ups, and whatever, and go to bed. Knowing me, I'll be up. I'll be watching more parts 5 and 6 of that Europa, The Last Battle. But I got to get the dogs in yet too, and I don't know if it's going to rain through the night at all or not. But they're perfectly content to sit out there right now. But I don't want them out there while I'm asleep, and in case of a whole pack of coyotes make their way over here. But I don't really have a lot to say. I'm just trying to get some information together, and if I can find more sources to do it, and even as well as read off the sources, do some clips on videos. YouTube has lightened up a little bit. So, okay. Oh, I don't doubt that, but here's the problem with it. They're all on chains. Well, Ayla's on a chain, Kakarot's on a chain, Goku's on his rope. They can't get off the chains and rope to get together. They're just a few feet from each other, and they're big, powerful dogs, no doubt. But if you get a pack of 10, 12, 15 coyotes, but what I do is I go out there and I go pow, 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 and they're pretty familiar with that sound. And when you hear them yiping, it'll get silent for a little while, and then when you hear them yiping again, you can tell they're a little further distance. So yeah, they're pretty familiar with it. I don't blame them on a personal level. I mean, coyotes, like any other prey or predator, they're only doing on instinct what they're supposed to be doing.
Okay, people, a fun game we're gonna play right now.
Really?
Yeah. Number one, if you agree this channel, you can kick back the fellowship and be yourself and speak on anything and have a good time. Number two, you semi-agree. Number three, you disapprove. Put your votes in.
Okay, what my wife said, if in case some didn't hear that, do you agree for this channel that you can kick back, relax, and be yourselves? If you agree, put a Y for yes. If you don't agree with that, put an N for no, and please tell us why. You don't vote? Okay, well, guess we're out of one vote for Haas. Okay, well, Kim and Wilfred put Y in. Old Path put Y in. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. And we've even had some disagreements here and there, and I'm cool with that. But Carolyn Gannon, I don't think she may not be here right now. She was here earlier. She typed in. Okay, that's cool. Boss, kind of. I'm going up in the chat. I'm scanning up here. There's a lot of typing in tonight for a smaller channel. I'm cool with it. Carolyn Gannon, that was a while back. Yeah, I see her there. Finally, way up there. Of course, she probably had to go to bed. I don't know. There's Kim with her Kim Kangas account before she did the Freedom Victory, I guess on a phone. I'm just rechecking things, guys. Okay. Anyway, I really don't have a lot more to bring up. Like I said, I need to write up more notes and dissertations on them. I need to be ready to give you the right information and that. And I need to look up some more documentaries. So, but I do appreciate everybody coming in here. I mean, so I appreciate the new person. If she's new, Kim Kangas. Let's see, Angus. Kim Kangas, a.k.a. Freedom Victory, right? So, that being said, folks, I think I'll just go ahead and do my normal thing because, I do need to, like I said, I need to get some things done and actually get ready to go to bed. But, folks, once again, like always, I appreciate you attending the reading of God's holy word. In Hebrew, simply, that's Elohim's Debar. Thank you for sticking with me and chatting in and giving your viewpoints and that. And let's keep this going. Try to get it where more people will come in, and maybe we can have some more stimulating fellowship here too. You know, the more the better. Even if you have points of disagreement, I'm cool with that as long as you're not being stupid and vulgar. But in the meantime, stay safe out there. Keep your heads on swivels. All right? Put your trust, your faith in Yah the Father through his son Yeshua. All right. Peace. Shalom. The Levite man is out here until next time. Sometime tomorrow evening there, Kim. Anywhere between 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. Take care.